Shringara, Hasya, Karuna, Raudra, Veera, Bhayanaka, Bhivatsa, Adbhuta, and Shanta. These are the 9 rasas, Navarasas, as we call them, that color our life. But without any emotions, we would just be like robots or machines, isn't it? I do have a few questions here. How much emotion is good emotion? When we define a person as a happy person or as an angry person, or when we allow emotion to overwhelm us, scare us, even overtake us, uh, is it a good thing? How can we keep it in control, balanced, and not tipped to one side?
Your whole attitude to life, everything in life actually begins. Your attitude is molded in childhood. If you have parents who are constantly positive, who are constantly looking at the brighter side of life, the child gets into the habit of looking at the brighter side of life because that's the way she or he has been brought up. So it actually starts with childhood. Your whole character is molded during your childhood. So because your value system is determined by them, what is good, what is wrong, what is right, what is wrong, etc. These limits and these standards are set by your parents, by your elders from childhood. So you get accustomed to using those values as your standards of reference in your life as you grow into maturity. A large extent of your basic character and personality is molded during your young age till you're an adolescent. Once you cross adolescence, there is, it is set. It's a set pattern which has come into you, and you behave as per those patterns which have been ingrained in you. There are two aspects you can look at. Either it can be a positive personality or it can be a negative personality. If a person has had more negative experiences in life, that person begins to look at life from a negative frame of mind. If he has had more positive experiences, you find he has a more positive attitude towards life and its experiences. So these are the two attitudes, and your emotions are evoked as a result of that attitude, because it is your attitude which evokes an emotion. What we do not understand is emotions are actually exactly like spices in your culinary system. Food by itself, vegetables, the same vegetable you may be using on various days, the same vegetable, same potato on one day, the same potato on another day, the same potato on a third day. Potato is the same, but it is the spices and the combination of spices which make sure that each day, although you're eating the same vegetable, each day it has a different flavor, it has a different taste, and a different, I would say, a different appeal altogether. Life exactly is like that. Every day is the same thing we are doing. We get up in the morning, dress up, go to work, we are involved. But life is actually communication. Communication is the key. It is your communication and the mode of communication, the manner of communication, the attitude behind the communication is what imparts life to that particular interaction. So once you're aware, being aware of the fact that I'm more negative or more positive, that's the first sign of change. Because if you do not recognize that you're sick, when I call it a sickness, right? Because being negative is not a normal feature. And if you take a young child, who was just say 4 or 5 years, 3, 4 years old, you'll find they're always positive. There's hardly anything which they are negative about. As a child, as children, we are naturally positive. You tell a child not to do something and you will find he will do it even without telling you, he will do it. Because he wants to, he is inquisitive about the world. He's inquisitive about life. So we are naturally positive, but it is during your growing years that if you have constant negative experiences, negative emotions, negative, I would say, training, you tend to look at the world with colored glasses, gray glasses, dark glasses, brown glasses. So all these colors come in, and it is possible to remove these colorings incidentally. That's what we teach in our course. It is possible to do that. But there are two basic emotions which underline the negative and the positive. One is love and the other is fear. These are the two basic emotions which rule mankind. Love is only love. And I would call the extreme, I would say the real love, which you can compare with God's love, is a mother's love for her child. It is unconditional. Under any circumstances, that love will never diminish. A mother will never ever, think of harming her child under any circumstance. She may scold the child, but she will not physically harm that child. So love has only one quality, and it has only one character. Love is only one. It can be expressed in various ways, but love is love. Fear, on the other hand, has variety of emotions. It can take the form of greed. It can take the form of anger. It can take the form of prejudices. It can take the form of hate. These are various types of attitudes which can be generated, and consequently emotions also. Coming to a situation where you talked about a person who has deep-seated complexes, how do you handle it? Today, one of the major problems in society is depression. What exactly is depression? How to tackle it? Very few people understand it. But I'll just give you a little background of what actually. You see, your mind is the basic key behind everything in your life. Your mind is what you are using every moment of the day. But your mind has got two polarities. It is a polarity of love on one side, which is positive, and is a polarity of fear on the other side. So, in a day, you will find an individual's mind swings like a cat on a hot tin roof. He's happy, he's unhappy. He's happy, he's sad. He's happy, he's afraid. He's feeling good, but suddenly he feels bad. This constant musical chairs which goes on. If the sum total, if you take a day, if at the end of the day, if it had been more negative, and if that tendency continues, the average position of the mind now becomes more and more on the negative side. And if this is not tackled, it becomes more and more, and then the average extreme stage comes where the mind now has got parked in negativity, the extreme state. That extreme state is called depression. The average mind should be like the child. In the beginning, a child is very positive, extremely on this side. He doesn't accept no for an answer for anything. He just wants to do it. He's interested in doing it. He wants to do it. He doesn't have any fear. He doesn't have any fear of loss, fear of being scolded. He just doesn't understand all that. He just does it because he loves to do it. Gradually, as the individual grows in maturity, because of certain failures in life, because of certain unfortunate experiences, now that mind begins to come more and more, become more and more negative. What is the reason for this negativity? The memory of that negative experience goes on piling up. Let's call it the garbage. in your mind, because yesterday's experience is yesterday's experience. Yesterday's match is yesterday's match. It has no relevance today. But unfortunately, yesterday's failure weighs very heavily, and every day is a new innings. Every day is a new innings. Now, Sachin Tendulkar may have scored a duck and bowled out the previous T20 match 4 days ago. But in this T20 match today, his previous failure or success is irrelevant. What happens today is everybody is looking forward to what you're going to achieve today. Now, if you're going to be weighed down by that experience, the memory of that experience, what do you think will be your potential today? What will be the possibility of your delivering results today? So this garbage which lies within us is the stink of failure, the stink of fear. This stink is what creates the problem. You will never keep a dirty dish in your basin for more than for more than one night. If you have a dinner in the night, you'll make sure it's washed. Otherwise, in the morning it stinks. We do that with physical things. Unfortunately, we don't know how to do it with our mind. How to wash out or how to cleanse the mind is what is not known to most people. That is where our Shastras, our Vedanta gives techniques how to clean out the mind. So there are certain kriyas which you can do. All these negative emotions, etc., all these garbage can be eliminated. That is one aspect. Question is, you asked another aspect. How to decide when to use what emotion. An actor could be the most beautiful example of how emotions can be measured and used, because they have trained themselves to use every aspect of their mind and body in acting. So when the director says you have to cry from this moment to this moment, this is that particular incident where you are supposed to cry, and you're supposed to cry so realistically that the audience also cries along with you. So that is, I would say, the extreme situation where a person, an actor, has trained himself to use his emotions so effectively that he's called a very good actor. People call him a very good actor. We have to learn how to act in life also. We have to learn how to use what emotion, when, at what moment. That is the beauty of life. And if you can learn it by experiencing other people, because there are three ways of learning. One is your own way of experiencing the knocks of life and then adjusting yourself. Now, that is a very painstaking process and can be quite traumatic at times. The other way is to understand why people behave like that in other circumstances. How is it a person has become so negative? If you look at the history of a person, you will find certain pointers where so other people's experience can become your guide. And the third is, of course, to go to a guru and understand what it means to discipline your mind and your body. Because when to respond, when not to respond, when to keep quiet and not say anything and not respond at all. These are all aspects of life and living which can only be done by controlling your mind. And controlling the mind is what starts with the most basic element, is control your body. If you control your body, you'll find you'll be able to control your mind. So for example, now, if you can make sure that you have a disciplined life, you have a very moderated life, and make sure that you don't exceed certain limits, you will find that tendency turns automatically influences your speech, influences your thoughts. And if you're a sportsman, you'll find normally you will not be negative. Sportsmen, you'll find, are invariably positive. They take failure in their stride and don't become negative. In fact, they use every negative experience to learn what went wrong and correct themselves so that the future events, they will be successful.
We're discussing life. We're discussing what happens in your life, my life. And together, this is our universe. And how do you control and govern the you? How do you look after yourself? That is where this course called Unlearn Living comes in, and Sir takes this course online. And it would be wonderful if you could join us and start with level 1, and see where all this knowledge takes you and how it helps you improve on your life. So really looking forward to your participation. You can visit us at www.unlearnliving.in for more information. And if you have questions that you would like to ask in this show, you can email us at unlearnliving@gmail.com. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and hit the bell icon as well, so that you can stay connected with us through this show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.